Yo, what's up guys, you're back with TechNick, and today we'll be doing a speed test between the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra and the iPhone 11 Pro Max. The Samsung comes paired with the Snapdragon 865 processing chip, the version that I have anyway, and the version that I have also comes paired with 12 gigs of RAM. The iPhone comes paired with Apple's A13 Bionic Chipset, and Apple is limited to 4 gigs of RAM, so that's a slight bummer, but it'll be really interesting to see how the Samsung does with 3 times the amount of RAM. As you guys can see, the hardware configuration specs over here, and the RAM over here as well. We also have slightly faster RAM with LPDDR5 RAM on the S20 Ultra. We do have WQHD on the Samsung, though it is limited to Full HD when we enable the 120Hz display, which we will be doing over here, and we're going to reduce the motion on the iPhone. We can remove animations through the regular settings, but we're going to use developer options on the Samsung because I don't want to remove everything, just put it at 0.5 times, with one of them being the exception. GoPro footage, bottom left hand corner. Guys, this is TechNick. Without further ado, let's go. We're going to be starting here with round 1. For those of you guys who are new to the channel, we have a timer countdown at the bottom left hand corner there to the next round. At the bottom right hand corner also tells us the percentage of the time that we're currently speeding up at. 200% is sped up and 100% is real time. So far we have 2 points for the 11 Pro Max, booting on the phone and unlocking the phone quickest in the beginning with the initial boot up, refreshing the icons. When it comes to using Face ID, the iPhone has 3D Face ID as opposed to 2D Face ID on the Samsung, and the iPhone was faster. But when we use the ultrasonic sensor as opposed to Face ID on the Samsung, it is actually quicker than the iPhone and goes straight in and is faster every single time, giving it its only point in round 1 as opposed to the 3 points for the 11 Pro Max in round 1. Starting with round 2 over here, where we're going to go from camera to PUBG, round 3 PUBG to camera, and round 4 PUBG back to camera for RAM management. Round 3 is actually going to be about reopening apps and seeing how fast we can reopen the apps. Round 4 will be about going into each individual app again, but that time round it will be about RAM management to see how many apps we can keep running in the background. The current round we are in now is round 2. No apps are open in the background, and we're going to be opening up app by app initially to see which one can open it up faster. Now guys, I must say in the beginning here, I do apologize for any wobble or any zooming issues with autofocus. During this recording, I actually decided to give the Xiaomi Mi 10 Pro a go at recording my footage. I record all my footage with smartphones just so that you guys can be even more interested in my videos such as these speed tests. So far I've been using the iPhone 11 Pro Max and the OnePlus 7T to record these speed tests, but I thought I'd give the Mi 10 Pro a go, and I'm sad to say I'm not going to be using it again. Just to show you guys, there is a lot of fuzziness and a lot of blurriness. It doesn't seem to do well with recording at such a close range, where the iPhone and the OnePlus do it superbly well. So far we have the Samsung 2 points ahead of the 11 Pro Max there. When running the speed test, the internet speed test that is, it ran it slightly faster. Now of course, if the apps are too close to call, I don't allocate a point to either of the devices. I only allocate a point if there is a clear difference or if there is 6 or 7 milliseconds between them. Even though that is still so little of a difference between the two phones, I do allocate a point because I can assure you that I slow down the clip a ton, 3, 4, 5 times to make sure that I am getting an accurate result here. The S20 Ultra exported a Photoshop photo slightly quicker than the 11 Pro Max there. Now we're going into Rush over here, Adobe Rush. S20 Ultra opened it up quicker, but the 11 Pro Max opened up the project quicker. Now we're going to go ahead and export this 4K clip. It is 4K at 25 frames per second over here. Now in the beginning of exporting this clip, I'm going to leave it at real time 100%. So what I saw, you guys are seeing now. This is not sped up at all, and look at that iPhone go. NVMe storage to the max. I wish that all phones in the future embed this in their device, where the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra just has UFS 3 storage. Come on, UFS 3 storage is still great. I've sped this up by 900%, but 1 minute and 14 seconds on the S20 Ultra as opposed to 12 seconds on the 11 Pro Max exporting the same 4K video. That is ridiculous. So of course the iPhone 11 Pro Max got a point there, just 1 point difference between the two over here. Now even Stevens when we're opening up Astral, though the S20 Ultra did indeed turn on Astral VPN quicker. It looked like the iPhone 11 Pro Max did, but it still had a grayed screen with a loading effect there, where the S20 Ultra did not have that. So far still 9 each apiece there. It is a tie, and the S20 Ultra just snagged its next points, making it double figures for the S20 Ultra in round 2 here, with now 11 points as opposed to the 9 points in the 11 Pro Max after opening up Twitter. Next up on the rack here is YouTube, and going into YouTube, things are very similar. We had the Samsung booted up quicker, but the iPhone kind of refreshed the page quicker, and then the Samsung showing the video quicker, the preview video quicker, so no point allocated there. It was just too close to call and too many things were going wrong. I did retry this 3 or 4 times and the same thing kept happening. When going into my profile over here, very similar once again to that previous thing, and when opening up a video, the S20 Ultra definitely kept things fascinating there since it opened it up quite a bit quicker, though the iPhone actually loaded up the up next section slightly faster there, but it is all about opening up the video and getting it playing quicker, so the S20 Ultra grabbed that point. Going into Netflix, the iPhone has that little bit of animation there, so the S20 Ultra grabbed it when checking out profiles. Going into my profile, you could see a massive difference there with the S20 Ultra grabbing that point, now going 5 points ahead in round 2 as opposed to the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now, same thing can be said with Chrome, definitely faster on the S20 Ultra. It is very noticeable. Like I said earlier, guys, I only allocate a point if it is noticeable, and if it is not really noticeable, but I have seen that it is at least 7 or 8 milliseconds quicker, then I do allocate the points as well. But if it is just 1 or 2 milliseconds, then it's even Stevens for me and for you, of course. Going into our second game over here, first game, by the way, the iPhone took it, Subway Surfers, and the S20 Ultra took the second game, which was flip diving. Now we're going to go into our next game here, which will be Temple Run 2. It takes a little bit longer to load in, and remember, we're using Google Play Games on the Samsung, and we are using our App Store Apple ID on the iPhone, so that could also be factored into this, but the Samsung was quite a bit quicker over here, so it grabs that point there, making it 17.7 points ahead in round 2 as opposed to the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now we're going to go into our last game here, which is PUBG Mobile. 100% here now, 200% sped up just to speed through here. I don't want to keep you guys here all day. 9 seconds on the iPhone 11 Pro Max, getting it its 11th point in round 2. And the Samsung took 14 seconds, 5 seconds longer to open PUBG. I actually tried this 3 times. It was the same pretty much every single time here, guys. We're going to go back from PUBG all the way to camera. And this is going to be about reopening speed. This has nothing to do with RAM management, guys. Whichever one reopens the app quicker, then it gets allocated a point here. If it is too close to call, once again, I will not allocate a point. The S20 Ultra and the iPhone 11 Pro Max both tied 1 point apiece here. And we're going to go into flip diving here, which the S20 Ultra took because it started running the game slightly quicker than the iPhone. Going into our last game here is Subway Surfers, and the S20 Ultra got to the loading screen, well, the resume screen, the pause menu slightly quicker than the 11 Pro Max. Things are pretty even when reopening Chrome. The same can be said for reopening Netflix, and the same can be said for reopening YouTube. Yes, maybe? No. The iPhone opened it while the S20 Ultra had to go ahead and load it there. We are running 100% here, so nothing is sped up here in round 3. and round 4, we will speed it up by 150 times because that is not checking out the speed, that is testing out RAM management, which we will speak to when we get to it. So far, 3 points for the S20 Ultra and 2 points for the 11 Pro Max in round 3 over here, making it now 4 points because it opened up Facebook quicker. So 2 points ahead, double points, now 5 points on the S20 Ultra as opposed to the 11 Pro Max. Going into our last few apps over here, Premiere Rush, well, Adobe Rush. It was Adobe Premiere Clip, now it's Adobe Rush. I don't think it is Adobe Premiere Rush. So we still had Photoshop opened up for the 11 Pro Max over there, but we're not testing out RAM management, so neither got the points because it did open it up quite snappy on both devices. We'll get to RAM management in round 4, like I said. Going into speed test over here, once again the S20 Ultra kept it open. We're not testing that now, and the S20 Ultra did actually open that app up faster. Settings was pretty neck and neck over there. Going into the phone app, it was very similar here indeed as well, both neck to neck over there. And then going into calculator, check if our little sum is still around. Yes, we each got 2 and very similar speeds in that scenario. Going into gallery, it is clear that the S20 Ultra grabbed that point. And then going into camera, the S20 Ultra kept the camera flipped, but I think that is just a feature with Samsung. So yes, it was very similar that round, only 4 points between the two devices. Now round 4, this is about RAM management, 150% sped up here. S20 Ultra kept PUBG open, and let's check our Temple Run 2. Both of them kept it open, so neither of them get a point, or only allocate a point if one of them kept the app open and the other app killed it. S20 Ultra got the second point over there with flip diving. I'm gonna go ahead and open up Subway Surfers here, and both of them kept it open, so no point allocated there. So far, the S20 Ultra kept up 2 apps more than the iPhone in the first 4 apps. from now on, it is pretty similar between the two devices, both keeping them open. The iPhone opened YouTube up quicker, but they both had them open at the same place, so we are going to give it a drawed point there. Once again, the S20 Ultra is just 2 points ahead now, but now the iPhone takes it when it opens up Photoshop, still having it open up in the background, so there's just 1 point between the two phones here. When it comes to speed test, the internet speed test, they were actually both open over there. Earlier it refreshed when we went back into it in round 3. The rest of the apps are all really similar over here, and there's honestly just 1 point difference in RAM management, and there is triple the amount of RAM on the S20 Ultra. S20 Ultra total points of 27 as opposed to 18 points on the 11 Pro Max. The Mi 10 Pro beat the 11 Pro Max, and the S20 Ultra beat the Mi 10 Pro. So this is a fair result, guys. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video as much as I did making it, and until next time, this is TechNick.